Hello, hello, how are you? So guess what? I learned from reading Mrs. Wright's Google Classroom that you all are going to be writing animal reports. So I thought that I would coordinate my art lesson for you with your animal reports by teaching you some basic ways to draw animals. And it is different than maybe how you've done some drawing before, but I'd like you to give it a try because this will really work for any kind of animal, no matter what. I'm going to be drawing a pig and a giraffe, and I chose those because the pig is a short, fat animal and the giraffe is a taller, skinny animal. So if you know both of those ways, you can pick any animal in the middle and make a nice drawing of it. So for today, what you will need is maybe a couple of pieces of white paper. If you have printer paper, that's fine. If you have drawing paper, that's even better. I'm just going to use printer paper today. You need a pencil. You will need some markers and some crayons. Once you see the video, you'll understand, but I'm going to ask you to try and coordinate these colors. So, for example, for my giraffe, I have a lighter colored marker and a dark brown that are going to be the giraffe colors. Okay, so pick one of each, one marker and one crayon for each animal that you do. For the pig, I have a pink marker and a gray crayon. So that's what I'm going to be using today. And I think I said pencil. If not, you need a pencil. So please, will you go and gather those things, and I'll meet you back in here in a minute once I change up my camera and you gather your items. Okay? All right, welcome back. I wanted to let you know that in this drawing today, in our project today, it's more of a drawing lesson and less about having a completed perfect project. We're just going to be learning some drawing skills. So you're going to see me doing some very sketchy drawing with lots of little extra lines, and that's part of drawing. As you grow and become a better artist, you'll see that you start to do very sketchy things instead of just, really straight, clean lines. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I'm going to zoom in because what I'm going to do on this piece of paper, and I did have it in the tall or portrait direction, I'm going to have both animals on the same page. So I'm going to do my pig down over here in the corner. Let's focus that a little bit for you. Okay. And my giraffe will be next to it on the same piece. Now, most everything that you draw can be done with circles, ovals, rectangles, squares, and triangles. And you will understand that a little bit more once I start drawing. And you'll see that that will help you draw every animal that you want to draw. So, for the pig is short and kind of fat, so I haven't even started drawing. I'm just making circles in the air with my pencil, and then eventually I'm going to bring the pencil down onto the paper and draw myself an oval. I know it's a little hard to see, but maybe you're watching it on a bigger computer and you'll be able to see it better. Okay, so this is representing the pig's body. Then we have the pig's head, which is going to be about up here. So I've done a circle, and remember I started that oval or that circle up in the air, and then I got used to the shape, and then I brought the pencil down to where it touches the paper. Okay, now back here, the pig, if you eat ham, you're eating this back part of the pig. So I'm going to just fatten this up a little bit, and we have a circle here. Just kind of gives you the idea that this is the pig's back end, and then from below we're going to make a triangle. Okay, so here's our triangle right here. This is going to be his leg. Looks kind of funny now, but in a minute it'll look even more that way. Okay, we need the front leg, so we're going to have another triangle right here. And we don't really have to draw the top part of the triangle. This line right here, we don't really have to draw it, but I'm drawing it so that you can see the triangle. Okay, so now our pig is just standing straight up and down, but he does have 4 legs, so we need to put another leg, and I'm going to tip it. This is the behind leg, the leg that is farther away from us. So my triangle is going to be kind of going that way so that his legs are a little bit in different, one's a little shorter than the other, and one's a little farther away than the other. That's why it looks shorter. Okay, and then here, let's put a back leg. Let's make it go this way. and it's a triangle as well. Okay? Now, that's the basic pig shape. So now we have to change it up and make it look real. So let's first start out. Let's give him a neck. This is how I do it. I just connect that with 2 lines. And piggy nose, how about if we put a little circle right here, and then from that circle we're gonna do these 2 lines like this to kind of connect it to his face, so it's not just a circle like a snowman made of circles. Okay, then we have some ears. One is here and another one is here. They're almost like little triangles too, aren't they? This pig actually looks a little bit tall. Okay, now we'll add the squiggly tail at the end. So let's now use what we've done here to create the shape of the pig. Watch what I do. I'm going to trace everything I've done, and I'll do it darker so you can see. Here's the ear, comes around. Here's his face. This is where we added the nose. Then the face comes down, turns into the neck. Then we start going around that oval there. Then we're going to do this front leg. And at the bottom, pigs have a little hoof. So let's do this. It's almost like 2 bitty triangles down there, or a letter W. Then it's going to come back up, stopping at the belly. We're going to trace this belly. Here's our other leg. And we have this fat bottom here. So let's start the leg up a little higher. Remember, we have the little hoof. So it's kind of like a W. Follow that leg back up, around behind his bottom, up over the back, up the neck. We made this little ear and the top of the head. Okay, and now you have drawn most of the pig. We just have to put these other legs in, so we trace that line and we make the little hoof and trace the rest of his leg up. We have this line right here. We add the little hoof and then we trace that back up. Now every other line that you see in here, you can erase and get rid of it. Or you could leave it because we're going to color over it, so I'm not really going to worry about erasing it too much unless they're really dark, right? And then we got to do things like we need to add some eyes and a little, his mouth is under here somewhere. It's kind of a funny funny faced pig, but at least you get the idea of how to do it. And then we have a curly tail. And I'm going to thicken it up down here at the bottom a little bit just by making an extra little line. Okay, so that's your pig. All right, let's go to giraffe. I got to zoom out a little bit on this so we can get in on the whole page so you can see everything. Okay, the giraffe is the same idea. Remember, we started with the oval for the body. So we're going to have his body is much higher because he's taller. So we have an oval here. I start making an oval in the air, and when I feel like I have a nice shape, you could go slower if you need to. Then you let it touch down on the paper. And I'm doing this several times to darken it up. And there I have the body. The back end of the giraffe everybody has a bottom, even giraffes and pigs, so we got to put that in there so we know where it is. It's right here, and look, it's a circle. So we have circle and oval. Now, giraffe is very tall, so let's give him a really long triangle. It's almost like a really tall ice cream cone, and I'll do this darker again when we get to the end. But this is only his knee because his legs are so long. So we're going to have kind of another triangle right here. Actually, we're not. We're going to have a long, skinny rectangle right here. That looks better. All right. Then we need a front leg. So let's have it come down here like this. Long triangle. You could draw the triangle top on if you want. And let's make his knee about the same length. Comes down about as far as that other knee, and then we have this rectangle, skinny long rectangle. Notice I didn't do any feet yet. I'm trying to remember what giraffe feet look like. Should have looked that up ahead of time. Okay, but he has more than 2 legs, so let's do like we did with the pig. We got to give another leg back here. So we kind of have this triangle that comes from behind, and another skinny rectangle back here. And let's have the other one come a little forward. So we're going to have this kind of a rectangle. Oh, he's almost going to get that pig in the face with his knee. Okay, so here's this other triangle here, and a skinny rectangle. Okay, I didn't do any feet yet because I'm still not sure what the feet are like. All right, now we need a neck. Very, very long, tall triangle. Let's have it going this way. Okay, can you see where that triangle is like that? And then the head is also a triangle, but it goes this way. The giraffe has these funny little horns and some ears, so we can add those. If you know what Shrek's ears look like, they're sort of similar to the giraffe horns. They kind of have like a little ball at the end, and then the ears are going to come down like this, like teardrops almost. Or ovals again, like an oval. And there are our giraffe's ears. Okay, so let's do what we did here where we traced the pig. Let's trace this. I don't know if I really need to trace these horns again because they're pretty dark, but I will. So we trace that, come down, trace around there, stop at the back, go up and over the back, and let's go down around this front leg and connect. I'm going to put hoofs. I can't remember, and I could be wrong, but if you have a giraffe as your animal, you're going to look it up, and you're going to put the right kind of foot on it. I can't believe I can't remember. But we'll do a hoof like a horse, which is more of a kind of a triangle shape. Okay. Then we come up the front of the leg, up the front here, and let's let it go up onto the body a little bit, and it ends in a little curve. Now here we're going to start at the belly, and then we're going to have this other front leg comes down, 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 trace it down there, put a triangle at the bottom for a hoof. I'll feel silly if it's not a hoof. Maybe you guys will look it up and tell me. Okay, so there's the front leg. Then let's start here on the back leg. We're tracing around it. Here's this triangle for a hoof. Is it hoof or hoof? I think you can say it either way. Okay, this comes up, then it connects with the neck. We're going to go under the head, and he doesn't have such a pointy nose, so this is where we're going to change that up a little bit. Okay, so I can erase this, and we're going to erase all the other stuff inside that we don't need. Remember all those early oval shapes and circle shapes and everything. Okay, so there's your tall, tall, tall giraffe. Oops, I forgot the back leg. Trace down. Get that, get your triangle hoof. And then they have a very long little tail like this, and there's usually some hairs at the bottom. Okay, so that's your basic drawing lesson on that. Let's give him an eye, and let's give him a nose. Okay, now the last part of this lesson, and I'm not going to draw a color in the whole entire animal because that will take too long, but I want to show you some basic skills with layering of colors. So I'm going to zoom in on the pig. The pig's face is funny. Here's something that will help. Watch this. Let's put those little, there we go, put the little nostrils in. Okay, so on the pig, I have chosen a kind of a light, really light pink. And I'm just going to do part of his body. So when you fill in the color on the pig, I would like you to try and use careful coloring, even though this is your practice. But you can see that I'm just being really careful to fill everything in and not be really fast and messy. Okay, so I'm not going to do the whole pig like I said. But let's get the bottom in here and the front leg, and then you'll see what I mean. Okay, do a little bit more up there. All right, so I have colored him in, and I have kind of like this pink pig body. it's okay. But I can make it more interesting if I use some gray on top of it. That sounds weird, but let's do it. You want to let this dry a little bit first because it won't work very well if you don't let it dry. But you're going to take your crayon, your gray crayon, and actually go over some parts of the pig with gray. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of doing the back leg. I'm going to do underneath on the belly here. It does two different things. It kind of gives you a feeling of shadow underneath the pig, but it also might be spots on the pig. You can even outline the whole front leg with your crayon, and we can give them a few spots because pigs sometimes they have spots or speckles on here. Okay, but it adds interest. Even if I colored gray over the top of the whole entire pig, which I'll do for you, you could still sort of see that there's this pink in it. Okay, so I'm just lightly coloring over the top of all that gray that I already put on there. So I don't know if you knew this, but you can layer crayons on top of your markers or on top of colored pencils. So we still have kind of a pinkish looking pig, but we have some interest now because there's gray. If you want, you can darken up certain parts like the belly. Okay, so that's the idea with this. So just give it a try. It's your first time maybe doing this, so it might be kind of weird or funny for you, but give it a try and see what happens. So on the giraffe, again, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I will do the neck. It's funny because I have so many art supplies at home. Can you believe that I didn't really want a yellow marker, but I would have liked a little bit lighter color than this. And I have everything, but I did not have any yellow marker on there. Let's do a little bit of his middle too. And I'm doing fast. You'll probably take your time a little bit more than I am. Okay, so there's giraffe, right? Now, then I have a dark brown crayon. And remember how giraffes have spots. So if you see things like this where my markers overlapped and left a line and you don't like it, that is a perfect place to put a spot to hide or camouflage where your marker overlapped. So, just like we did on the pig, all you're going to do is make your spots with this. You'll still see a little bit of that yellowy color coming through, which is nice. But now you have hidden that marker line that maybe you didn't like. Let's give a spot up here too. So if you remember, you can tell Mrs. Wright that we did this today, or you could tell her tomorrow when you see her that you did some animal drawing practice. I would love to see pictures, so if you figure out what animal you're going to be doing and you do some practice on it, if you need help, you can send me a message and I can look at your drawings and help you out so that your report for your animal project is great. I'm sure it'll be great anyway, but if you need any drawing help, just let me know. That's what I'm here for. Okay, so see how I did the spots? Let's do this one right here a little bit better. Giraffe spots are not all even like a Dalmatian with polka dots. They're kind of almost like tiles in a patio. Okay, so there's your giraffe with your layered colors. Here's your pig with your layered colors. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to seeing some of your pictures, and I think that's about all I have for today. So say goodbye to the giraffe and have a great day.